It's January and this is the Library Roadshow. On the show today, ABCs, authors, books, concerts, and more. Welcome to the January edition of the Library Roadshow. I'm Mary Stein, and this is a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. We've just launched a new Storytime semester, and for all of you families participating in Press Start, Ready, Set, Read this January, the library is brought to you by the letter T and the concepts Big and Small. Historical reenactor Abraham Lincoln will be visiting several libraries this month with 3 different programs: Lincoln on Slavery, Emancipation, and Equality, A New Birth of Freedom, and a visit with Mr. Lincoln. Staying in a political milieu, author Victoria Edwards will share the life and times of a governor's daughter at the main library on January 17th as part of the library's special collection lecture series. Local media personality Boo Milton will encourage young creatives to make time in right time. Garden Discoveries touch on urban gardening, and the Friends of Hilltop Arboretum are gathering for a special symposium on ecological restoration. The Get Organized series returns in January with Louisiana's only certified professional organizer, Alyssa Trosclair of Emend. Brad Ives, director for the LSU Institute for Energy Innovation, will be our virtual speaker for January's Strictly Business. WRKF Public Radio will be on site at the main library on January 20th to present a free financial literacy conference, Money Moves Baton Rouge. And speaking of money matters, the library's business librarians will start offering regular office hours at the main library every Thursday afternoon from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Check out the library's online calendar of events for details on these and dozens more programs in this month's issue of The Source, available in print and online at ebrpl.com.
Free access to books, audio, and library resources are just a few of the benefits available to you when you get a library card. Need free access to a computer? You get that. Want free access to premium digital resources like Mango Languages and lynda.com? You get that. Need to book a meeting space? You get that. Heck, you can even check out a telescope or use a digital printer with your library card. If you live in East Baton Rouge Parish, pick up your free library card from your local branch library today. Premium access to everything the library system has to offer is waiting for you.
The library system is offering Tai Chi, line dancing, and a number of opportunities for fitness and wellness. But we're always looking for interactive resources that can shake things up for you, and Hive Class fills the bill. It's time to find out more in the digital download.
Hive Class is the digital encyclopedia for sports training and exercise. A platform that makes it easy for individuals and families to access high-quality educational videos in various sports and activities. Whether exploring a new hobby, searching for additional instruction, or looking to increase levels of physical activity, Hive Class provides options for everyone to promote physical wellness. Hive Class is comprised of athlete-led instructional videos designed by top physical educators. Videos include instruction on soccer, basketball, yoga, dance, pickleball, and more. There's even a section of online books to read about sports and exercise. You'll find suitable activities whatever your fitness level or age, even if you're just starting out. All video and content are available in both English and Spanish. All you need to get started is space to move and your library card. Also, look out for group exercise opportunities at library branches. Find Hive Class and other great resources in the digital library at ebrpl.com.
This new platform fills a real niche in our programming arsenal. We've already used it with our own events, and we've encouraged it to youth leaders, community center activity directors, and parents and grandparents who are suddenly surrounded by young people with energy to burn. But there are also slower fast-paced activities for people like me. Classes like yoga and mindfulness. Check it out. Let's shift gears now and go beyond the stacks.
Today we are at the 19th Louisiana Book Festival, where we're celebrating literature throughout Louisiana.
Here at the Louisiana Book Festival, the East Baton Rouge Parish Library is a sponsor.
We are celebrating literature in Louisiana by encouraging families to come out, see local authors, see local illustrators, and experience the world of literature for free.
And for the grown-ups, there's a little author's note here that kind of explains a little bit about the history. It is our state dish, gumbo is, and it's been here since the beginning of Louisiana time.
We're on Spanish Town Road, parked with our bookmobile and a few tents. We're giving away little prizes. We're signing up people for library cards. We brought our newest bookmobile. It is a Sprinter bookmobile. You can come on the bookmobile, you can check out books, DVDs, you can sign up for library cards. There's plenty of room to come on and check out the library.
We have over 100 author illustrators here, probably 90-something programs going on, and a lot of them, it's a great mix of local and national authors. We even have a couple international authors who are here.
My name is Claire Castleberry, and I am an author of Southern Gothic paranormal mysteries. Some of them have a little bit of spice in them as well. Everything I write has Louisiana Southern Gothic elements, so I love coming out here and talking to local people.
So the State Library's mission is to encourage literature and information to everybody free of charge throughout the entire state. And we also want to make literature and literacy and learning fun, and this is our way of doing it at the festival. We encourage families and people of all ages to come and enjoy books.
Our EBRPL library staff are dressed up this year because it's fun. We have lots of wings because books give you wings. I'm a moth today because the library is a light that just calls to us like a beacon.
Everything we do is free and everybody is welcome. We love everybody and we love books here at the State Library.
It's just fun.
Loving that.
The Louisiana Book Festival is widely considered to be one of the best literary festivals around. We're waiting to confirm the date for next year's festival now. Stay right there. After the break, Mickey Talbot joins me for a chat right here on the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that preparing children to enter kindergarten is good for us all. That's why we created Press Start, an early learning initiative that provides a free activity booklet every month that explores early literacy skills through play and interaction at home. Get a library card. Sign up for Press Start at ebrpl.com/kids.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Free entertainment is good for us all. That's why we make ebooks and audiobooks available through the Libby app. Get a library card. Get free entertainment at ebrpl.com/digital library.
You're watching the January edition of the Library Roadshow. Everything you need to know about your local library system. Now, Mickey Talbot serves as the library's public relations coordinator, and she generally does her best to stay active behind the scenes. But that's not going to happen today because I've asked Mickey to join me on the show to talk about a new series called Libraries Change Lives. All right, Mickey, what is this series all about?
Well, as you know, Mary, throughout the year, we receive a lot of positive feedback from patrons, and we love receiving that feedback. But I feel like Library Changes Lives is a way to kind of focus in and personalize that patron experience. it's kind of like putting a face on the feedback. So what we'll do each month is we'll interview an individual, someone who wants to tell their story about how the library has really helped them, how the library has impacted their life in a positive way.
Okay, so who are some of the folks that we're going to feature?
Well, in January, we have a truly inspiring young man. His name is Blake Hicks, and he has a daughter, Alina, and they took the challenge for the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program. And he was so diligent in reading to Alina every night. It took them about 18 months to get through the program, but in the end, they had read and recorded 1,000 books and earned a lot of rewards along the way. But I would say, from Blake's point of view, the biggest rewards were time with his daughter and just inspiring a love for reading in her life.
Making that part of the family dynamic, the family culture. All right, so what will each profile include? Because when you interviewed them, you came away with a lot of stuff.
Yes, people love to talk about how the library has just been a big part of their life, many for years and years. I know with Blake, when he was in college, he was using the library study rooms a lot. He was tutoring teenagers in the teen room, but then when he had his daughter, everything changed. So he had a new focus, and he was just really looking for a way for them to spend time together and to set a goal and reach that goal. It's a great lesson.
So not only are you going to include the feature in each month's edition of the newsletter, The Source, but since you videotape these interviews, we may see some on the show here. We may be dropping some of those on our YouTube channel. We may be including them in social media. So it's going to be a complete package.
Yes, there'll be a write-up every month in the newsletter, and then you'll see it all over the place on many of our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram.
And I bet, just like with our Facebook Friday, they have to have their own place because so many people want to see them and then go back and see all of them. I bet we're going to end up with our own little place for these to live for the next couple of years. So I'm excited about that. Thanks, Mickey.
Sure.
It's so important for library staff to see that their work makes a difference. So I'm looking forward to meeting these library advocates through your eyes. After the break, author M. Scott Smallwood, plus book reviews from one of our younger library patrons. All that and more coming up next on the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that supporting the education of students is good for us all. That's why we provide access to live, in-person, online tutoring through Homework Louisiana. Make available free test preparation tools through Learning Express, plus reference tools for all ages. Get a library card. Get free education at ebrpl.com/homeworkhelp.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library System believes that knowing where you come from is good for us all. That's why we grant free access to genealogy resources available through Ancestry.com. Make the vast historic resources of Heritage Quest available to you online. Get a library card. Get your family tree at ebrpl.com/genealogy.
Welcome back to the January edition of the Library Roadshow. The wonderful thing about writing a story is that you can literally, excuse the pun, create entire worlds for others to enjoy. My next guest has made this a life's passion. M. Scott Smallwood lives in New Orleans, Louisiana, and he's recognized as a songwriter in the Big Easy. However, the pandemic gave him time to return to his first love, writing. Scott joins me by phone to discuss his most recent book, entitled The Thrilling Adventures of the Secluded Man. Scott, how did you get your start as an author?
My start as an author began when I was 7 years old, writing short stories. While taking creative writing classes in the early 1990s, I won many competitions and received many awards for writing children's stories for my local newspaper. I then spent the next 10 years publishing poems and writing song lyrics. In 2020, after a 17-year break, I published my first novel titled Dreams of War, a story inspired by memoirs told to me by both of my grandfathers.
What is your book, The Thrilling Adventures of the Secluded Man, actually about?
The Thrilling Adventures of the Secluded Man is the first book in my humorous sci-fi fantasy series, and it starts with the Golden Lion. The Golden Lion is a magical artifact comprised of 3 pieces, one held by a recluse named Clyde, and the other held by his arch nemesis named Crazy Eyes. Crazy Eyes uses the magic of his piece to go back in time to prevent Julius Caesar's assassination. Clyde and his friend Arnold go back to stop him, but collectively alter the timeline even further. An oracle explains to them that they must put aside their differences and work together to find the third piece and reassemble the Golden Lion to reverse their mishaps. The catch is, they must search for it in present day, and the world is completely different from the way that they left it.
Where did your inspiration to write the book come from?
What inspired me to write the book was that I wanted to write something that is fun to read and is full of action and adventure, something very different from that of my first novel. I always wanted to write a fun adventure series that incorporates my favorite elements such as time travel, magic, and steampunk. I've always been a fan of fun adventure stories ever since I read books by Mark Twain as a child.
What advice would you give to an aspiring author?
The advice I would give an aspiring author is don't give up. Do your research to better understand the industry. Compare the pros and cons in traditional publishing versus self-publishing. Develop a marketing strategy. Meet others in events like book festivals and conferences and ask them about how they market their books. The best thing an author can do is get involved in a writer's group, one that meets up regularly that can critique your work as you write your masterpiece. These are some things that have been beneficial for me in my career.
Where can our viewers go to learn more about you?
To learn more about me and my work, visit mscottsmallwood.com.
Thanks, Scott. It's now time in the show to check in with one of our younger readers to find out what they've been reading at the library.
Hi, my name is Lena. I'm 6 years old, and my favorite book is Dragons Love Tacos. Dragons Love Tacos is about the boy. The boy is going to throw a taco party, but there's a little problem with that because dragons hate spicy tacos, but if he feeds them even a little bit of spicy salsa, they'll breathe out fire. My mommy takes me to the library. When I come to the library, I like to read books and play on the computers.
I love hearing what our younger library patrons are reading. Stay right there. You're watching the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that making things is good for us all. That's why we have makerspaces at 4 locations and a 3D printing service at the main library. The makerspaces have a variety of tools and equipment to enable both creative and practical projects. This includes 3D printers, sewing machines, audio-visual gear, and much more. Get a library card. Get free access to makerspaces at ebrpl.com/makerspaces.
I tell my son, I love you every single day. I love you. Now, my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. Now that he's a grandfather, he says, "I love you" to my son every time he sees him. My advice to all the fathers out there, forget the cultural restrictions. They grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that free entertainment is good for us all. That's why we make ebooks and audiobooks available for free through the Libby app. Grant free access to unlimited streaming music and video through Freegal, Canopy, and IndieFlix. Get a library card. Get free entertainment at ebrpl.com/digital library.
You're watching the January edition of the Library Roadshow, a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. They say there's a book in all of us, but actually putting pen to paper can be intimidating. Maybe this new year we can all resolve to give it a try, and the library can help.
I would like to tell people, first of all, that writing is some of the best therapy they will ever have. That is where my last book came from, Calling Home, because it was working through the grief, through the loss of my mother. And for those people who think they couldn't write for others, I'm going to tell them, please write for yourself then. Just write so you can get those things down on paper and kind of out of your head. And it will make a difference in your life. Even if you just sit down and in a journal once a day, write something down, you're on the right track.
Writing a book is a challenge in itself, but publishing that book can come with its own hurdles. For example, who's going to publish your book? We're here at the main library at Goodwood to hear from 2 authors who've embraced the world of independent publishing. Let's check it out.
We don't want to watch jiggling all this time. Go ahead, we'll see you in a minute.
I am Christy Atwood, and today we're going to talk about authorpreneurship. Say that 3 times fast. What this is about is helping people find the way to take what that idea in their head is and create their book, however they want to do it.
I got published in historical romance, and it was all Louisiana-based, a lot of Cajuns.
Oh, Cherie DeStuke Cohen is amazing. She and I have been friends since, I think, the 90s. And since then, it's been a friendship that just has stuck together. And we just have a wonderful time being able to encourage new writers. That's the fun part of being a writer, is getting other people to do it.
Those were my favorite humor things. And then my business books, and then my latest book is neither.
We're going to go through our processes and give people an idea of the different areas that we've worked in so they'll know what's involved. We'll also be asking for questions. And so a lot of this will be tailored to what the questions of the audience are. So it's never the same program twice, and that makes it kind of fun for us.
For her being a travel writer, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Gives me lots of material.
I am so thankful to the library for these. The fact that the library is constantly offering programs like this and offering them free of charge and offering them to people who normally wouldn't have opportunities to get these kinds of classes, I just think that's a real gift, and we sometimes don't appreciate it. We take it for granted. Bad on us. We need to keep that in mind and realize what a wonderful gift our library is.
Explore our Writer's Info Guide with resources like BiblioBoard and LinkedIn Learning. Or discover more programs like these in the events calendar at ebrpl.com.
Some people think, I couldn't write. Everybody can write. You just put down on paper what's in your head and build on that and have fun with it.
Amen to that. Your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System hosted some pretty festive programming in December. Lots of holiday-themed action and plenty of music.
It's the holidays, and what better way to celebrate the season than with live music? We're here at the main library at Goodwood to hear the talents of our local students. Let's check it out.
I'm a talented music teacher with East Baton Rouge Parish, and we are
putting on a concert today that we've been working on with our students the entire semester. There's another teacher that teaches the string students, and that is Dr. Pond, and so he is the conductor, and I work with the choir students. The students are from Baton Rouge High School and Woodlawn High School. So the grades range between 9th and 12th grade, and I'm guesstimating we probably have about 45 or 50 students that are participating in this concert. So the students that we teach are in the talented music program, so they have to go through an audition process to be in this program, and we only see them once a week, so I don't see these students every day like their choir or their band teacher or their strings teacher sees them. We come in once a week, so it's a little challenging sometimes to put together concerts, because if they miss a week, if I miss a week, it may be 2 or 3 weeks before we see them to work on the music. We've been doing after-school performance rehearsals for this music as well. You probably don't see this very much because the level of music that we are doing is very advanced. If parents are interested in learning how to get their kids evaluated for it, there is a guidance counselor at every school that has that information that they can reach out to. If they feel like their child has any kind of ability in music, art, so visual art, drawing, painting, and theater. We have talented programs in those 3 areas throughout the district.
You can find more events like this in the Source newsletter every month or at ebrpl.com.
I was truly blessed to grow up surrounded by music and art with enthusiastic teachers in school, after school, as well as opportunities to experience and make music and art at home and in the community. It's had a lasting and positive impact on my life. If you want to deepen your family's exposure to the arts, remember that the Digital Library offers ArtistWorks, Medici TV, Friegel Music, Quello Concerts, and the Great Courses, to name just a few resources. And now for today's contest. Visit the library's Facebook page at facebook.com/ebrpl. To help you meet your New Year's resolutions, this month's newsletter includes a deep dive into online learning. So I'd love to hear from anyone who's jumped in to discover something fresh and inspiring for the new year. That's facebook.com/ebrpl, and while you're there, enjoy. We're not your grandfather's library anymore. What's coming up on the Library Roadshow in February? Our new library director.
Tune into the show next month and I'll share another free resource from inside the digital library at ebrpl.com.
Join me next month and I'll take you to another library program at a branch near you.
Thanks so much for joining us on the Library Roadshow. And remember, your East Baton Rouge Parish Library is open 7 days a week at each and every one of 14 branches, plus 24/7 on the web. Check us out at ebrpl.com.